Alrighty, it's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for the Facebook Friday Q&A. Thanks to all of you. I went to the OTRS Central Facebook page and posted your questions. Much appreciated. Let's see how many of these bad boys I can fly through starting now. Matt Cooper wants to know, for Batista in the next James Bond movie, should his character be someone who goes around kissing babies and hugging fat girls? Yes, I believe that would be very appropriate. George Jones, how did WWE get away with using Eugene for all of those years? They probably had some type of special agreement with certain groups to allow it to happen, like the usage of the word special. Moving on. Rodrigo Machado, being completely honest, Jeff, if you had to bury one WWE superstar diva, who would it be? Vincent K. McMahon. Larkin Harris, how hard is Brock Lesnar's dick when he sees a Subway? Well, I couldn't imagine very if he's getting paid by Jimmy John's and he sees a competitor, so just saying. In the Rope Show, who are some of your favorite and least favorite reviewers in the YWC? Now, of course, this is probably one of these self-serving questions where these three gentlemen from the In the Rope Show want me to say that they're one of my favorites and skip-de-skip and whoop-de-woo. Should I break their hearts? Should I disappoint them? Or should I allow them to live in a fantasy world? What do you guys think? I'm going to be honest with you. I really just don't pay much attention to many of the people in the YWC and what they say. Because a couple of things. Either one, they say things that are so ridiculous that I don't think it's worth watching. Or they say things that I've already said. And if I've already said them and I've been there to watch my video, I don't even watch my own videos. Why am I going to watch others? The lack of originality and creativity in a lot of these videos is very, very striking. And, frankly, I got to get back on the good foot and do the bad thing in terms of having a little bit more fun with these videos myself. I have become what I have dreaded. I have become what I despise, which is the individual that just likes to sit in front of the camera and talk, and that is it. Yeah, need to fix that. Glenn Allen, does NXT really serve as a proper training ground for new stars, or is it just for internet fans to fap over? Some of the second, maybe just a tad bit of the first. Edsel Laurel, do you think Jeff Jarrett does the Jeff Jarrett position when he has sex with Karen Jarrett? I don't know how that works out with having a sex with a horse. It won't be my area of expertise. You might want to tweet Jeff Jarrett on Twitter about this and ask him, because he would know what it's like to have sex with a horse. Brandon Leslie, do you think Roman Reigns should change his attire and theme music? Maybe. I don't know if he needs to change the attire. Ring music, maybe. Let's see here. Fernando Morales. Looks like a big, long question. Thanks a lot. Do you feel WCW's legacy history have been ruined, washed, and watered down to nothing but NWO and Vince Russo's poor booking due to WWE's narrative? And does it deserve more praise for the eras in time when they were doing well storyline-wise, like Dangerous Alliance, Vader's Champion, Steamboat vs. Flair, etc.? Yeah, I think the WWE narrative has, chipped away a little bit at WCW's legacy. But the fact of the matter is, WCW doesn't exist anymore. It hasn't existed for almost 14 years now. So WWE won that right to create the narrative, so be it. Ronnie Cruz, do you see, well, to answer your other part of your question before I get to Ronnie Cruz's question, yeah, maybe it deserves a little bit more credit for some of those good things from the past, the late Crockett era, the early Ted Turner WCW era. Ronnie Cruz, do you see a Destruction of CM Punk DVD in the works for the future? Oh, God. Let's hope not. Well, that would be a bad decision. It would be a very poor choice. Ole Christian, who do you think will induct the Miz in the Hall of Fame? It won't be Alex Riley, that's for fucking sure. He won't want to do it, I wouldn't think. This is actually a serious question. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Maybe Kofi, Maurice, I don't know, fuck. Benedict Infinity Ward. I was too young to remember the WCW days, but why does WWE say the Savage DDP feud of 1997 was one of the all-time best? It was good. I don't think it was one of the all-time best. I think it was just another example of WWE trying to sensationalize. And this time, in this case, because it involves Savage, they're trying to overcompensate and overcorrect. David Dye has the big Papa Pump character hurt Scott Steiner's legacy. No, I don't think so. I think Scott Steiner's legacy is about what it should be. Joe Novak, top 3 favorite feuds of all time. Favorite feuds of all time, Hogan Andre, Hogan Savage. There's a theme there. What will be the 3rd favorite feud of all time? Probably like Taker Kane. Danny Palmer, should John Cena's next shirt read, hustle out of the 3 count, loyalty to myself, respect the win-loss record? You should be doing shirt designs for the WWE. Stephen Bradley, who in WWE will go to TNA in 2015? Nobody of any consequence or significance, and once they go to TNA, nobody that anybody will hear anything about. Joshua Pleasant Jr., did Stone Cold versus Hogan at WrestleMania 18 end up being the biggest match that didn't happen in the history of the wrestling business? It's on that list. It's on that list. I think it's one of them. Is it the biggest match that never happened? I don't know. Is it one of the biggest matches? Oh, beyond question. Let's see here. Josh Allen, what do you think is more respectful in a public situation? Fans addressing wrestlers by their wrestling name or their birth name? Well, you have to ask the individual wrestler, I guess. I don't see where it would make a fucking difference. You know, they are, in a way, pretending to be these names or these characters all the time, 24/7, yet when they're in their free time, they want to be left the fuck alone. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, if you went up to, like a CM Punk, and if you said Mr. Punk, or you said Mr. Brooks, do I personally think that's disrespectful? No. Especially if you addressed him by, you know, Mr. Brooks or Mr. Punk or Sir, you know, whatever. But, you know, if you use Mr. Punk or Mr. Brooks, I don't see how one is more respectful than the other. I think both of them addressing them that way would be, you know, pretty respectable. If Punk viewed one as a slight, if he didn't like being called Mr. Brooks, then frankly, in my opinion, he would be being kind of a douchebag. Just saying. Now, if somebody said, hey, Phil, or hey, Punk, you know, then if he's an ass to you, you fucking deserve it. I'll defend Punk on that one. You know, just because they're public figures doesn't mean they don't deserve some type of decorum and fucking respect. Nebek Sid, what was worse for the Spirit Squad, their gimmick or the burial via DX? Burial via DX. Let's see here. David Bent, if you claim that HBK is Jesus, then what match did he die for our sins? The one that ended his career at WrestleMania 26, that was actually a death and resurrection match all in one, and you might not have been quick enough to catch on to it. Paul Timus, to me, Taker was criminally underrated as a talker. What is your opinion? I never thought Taker was the greatest talker myself. I thought there were times where he did a great job of being able to, in his kind of understated, even-keel way, he was able to get his point across, and that's all he needed to do. The Taker was the type of guy, he didn't need to be the Rock type of talker, or he didn't need to be a Piper type of talker. That wasn't necessary, and nor was he ever. Patrick Driscoll, do you think the emotion of Flair's retirement soured when he jumped over to TNA? Well, no kidding. He took this great kind of like send-off, and he went to TNA. Let's see here. Luis Lopez, do you think that Vince's interview will affect Cesaro's booking going forward? Can the WWE turn this into a positive and launch a little Cesaro-McMahon mini-feud? To the second part, fuck no. If anything, they should do like an entire faction, like an entire locker room rising up against Vince. Tell him to take that brass ring and stick it up his ass. And stick the network up there, too. No, I don't think... I don't know if it'll affect Cesaro's booking going forward, because it's not like he's being booked much, and if he is, he's not being booked well. Michael Corbin, should Honky Tonk Man sue Jeff Jarrett for gimmick infringement due to him bashing people over the heads with guitars after Honky Tonk Man did it first and made it cool? Oh, why not? I'd like to see Jarrett get sued for that shit. Why not? Derek Archer, do you think there would have been an Attitude Era if WCW didn't exist? Of course not. Well, you saw out of Vince in the 80s and early 90s, and then again in the mid-90s before the Attitude Era, and what you see now is what Vince thinks is best for business. That's how he likes to run his company. So, no, if there wasn't WCW kicking his ass in the ratings, you never would have had an Attitude Era, plain and simple. Mike McGinley, Who do you think would win in a wrestling match? Macho Man or the Kool-Aid Man? One's a fantasy character, and the other one, unfortunately, is no longer with us. But I still would take the elbow drop for heaven, so I'll take the Macho Man. Deshaun King, do you think Mike Golick should be in the NFL Hall of Fame? I hope that wasn't a serious question, dude. Fuck no. Fuck that. Juan Biz Morales, would it surprise you if they became a Paul Heyman? I have no idea what the hell your question just said. Maybe it was supposed to be in 2 parts and the other part's gone. Yeah, make sure the question is readable so it can get answered. Jared Anthony Simmons, who was the first heel you ever cheered? Jake the Snake Roberts. Peter Gunn, your top 5 Jeff Jarrett moments. Brian Belaski, what needs to be done to make Fandango more popular and character more successful to when he debuted? Actually push him. Give him feuds that have a story. Just thought. Nathan Weaver, favorite movie and TV show of all time. Favorite movie of all time just depends on the genre. And favorite TV show of all time will always be Married with Children. Al Bundy for life, FTW. Let's see here. Michael Corvin, threesome, fuck, marry, kill. You can't mix and match between Naomi and Cameron, Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks, Layla and Sojo Bolt. I actually would go with Layla and Sojo Bolt because I'd get more variety, more potpourri. You probably anticipated Naomi and Cameron, but no, I'd go with Layla and Sojo Bolt. I have myself enough black pussy to last a lifetime, so I'd like to branch out from that and get her Moroccan ass a rockin' in the way of Layla. And then Sojo Bolt would just be like a cum dumpster, make a mixed baby, and it'll look beautiful because it'll be resemblance of me. Stephen Lee Taylor, what's your favorite WWF or WWE pay-per-view of all time? WrestleMania 3. Kevin Holden, will you do a review on ECW December to Dismember? I just might. I was going to sit there and give you the fart sound, but now that you mention it, I just fucking might. Robert Amaronia Wyatt, is dinner canceled, Maggle? Pat Bazzini, who'd win in a flaming casket match, Benoit or Bravo? Well, one for sure is burning in hell, so probably Benoit. Avricado, if Lesnar returned in 2005, would Vince have put him back at the #1 spot or Cena still have it? He probably would have made Lesnar eat shit like the taste of it for a while, so it might have still been Cena. David Herbst, is Sin Cara the greatest Survivor Series competitor ever, knowing he eliminated himself with his own botched move? Anybody could eliminate another person. It takes a real man to eliminate himself with another botched move. Elias Harris, if TNA went out of business, how would TNA's ratings change? Not much, because most people can't get that fucking channel or won't pay for the premium package through the cable or satellite provider to get Destination America to watch fucking TNA. Sorry, TNA fans, it's the fucking truth. Alberto Torres, how much longer does Trestman have as a coach of the Chicago Bears after another double-digit loss? He has to go along with Phil Emery. No kidding. At least you agree with me. I think you've been kind of on board with this for a while. Trestman probably gets a 3rd season, but he should be gone. So should Emery. So should Ted Phillips. They need a bottom to top, top to bottom, total and complete Chicago Cubs-style rebuild, as I've talked about since the end of 2012. Let's see here. Matt Meffe, any chance I get promotion for my YouTube page, Wrestling Throwdown? No, I'm not going to promote Wrestling Throwdown. I'm not going to fucking talk about it, and I'm not going to watch Wrestling Throwdown at all. So stop asking for promotion of your channel, Wrestling Throwdown. We got it? Got it. Scotty Allen, after recent events and police killings of Mike Brown, Eric Garner, there are people starting to realize that we're not living in a post-racial society. Last question here. Sorry I didn't get to some of the other ones. Let me put it as bluntly as I can. In part, it's a race issue, but if you think that the poor treatment by police of people is only a race issue, then you are a narrow-minded moron. It is a systemic issue. It's not just black people that are being treated poorly and with excessive, brutal force and having their rights trampled on by police. It's not just black people that experience that. It's all different types of people. And if you believe that it's only black people that are experiencing this, then you are a fucking moron. Is this an issue especially for the black community? Absolutely. No question. They experience it more than any other group of people. That is an indisputable fact that I totally back up. Because you see it. You know, white guys don't get DWBs. I go on and on and on. But it is not just a race issue. It's not just about black versus white. And people that think it is, and solely about that, are tools. And they need to expand their horizons. I guess I'll take one more. Duke Morris, do you like Jesse Ventura politically in the ring, etc.? I always enjoyed him as a commentator with Gorilla Monsoon. Politically, I'm a Ventura fan to a certain degree. I'm not 100% in agreement in terms of tax policy, but, you know, him being a little bit more on the libertarian side in terms of, you know, socially, I'm with him on that. He strikes me as somebody, while very arrogant and full of himself, he also seems to have a good grasp and understanding of reality. You know, seems to be somewhat grounded, even though he is, like I said, arrogant and full of himself. So in general, I like Jesse Ventura as a politician. If he did run in 2016, I would consider voting for him. Then I'm not saying I would. I'm not saying he would be the best candidate. Not saying he's just not a different version of the same old problem. But I'm saying he would have some appeal for me, and I would consider it. So there you go. Thanks, you guys, for submitting your questions. I'll be back Monday with another Q&A. Make sure you watch all the other content that I've been putting up all week long, and there will be still some more videos up this weekend here on OTR Central. Check them out!